Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Savin, founder, president, and CEO of the Syndicate. Now, here at the Syndicate, we are always trying to innovate and streamline our manufacturing process to make it as efficient and effective as possible. Now, I have heard conflicting reports on which setup is actually the most efficient and effective. So I thought we better put it to the test ourselves. So today we're going to be running a little experiment. I have every single possible combination of grow pot set up behind me, and we're gonna figure out which one is the best. Allow me to take you through this experiment. In this column, we have the regular old school plastic pots. In this column here, we have the moisture preserving pots. And in this column here, we have the air pots. Now, if you take a look above, in this row here, we have the regular halogen lamps. This row has the LED lamps. And this row here has the full spectrum lamps. So that way we cover every single possible combination for the grow pot setups. Over here, we have our 3 supply racks that is going to be supplying our botanists for each individual pot. So the way this is set up, every single pot has its own supply rack. Every single pot has its own destination rack. So these are the 3 storage racks for our plastic pots, and they are going to be going halogen, LED, full spectrum. Over here, we have our supplies and our storage rack, final product racks for the moisture preserving pots. And again, they go halogen, LED, full spectrum. And over here, we have the supply racks and the final product racks for the air pots. And they go halogen, LED, and full spectrum. So at the end of this process, we will be able to see which pot produces the most buds in a 24-hour period. And out here, we have our employees. Now, we are using 9 botanists. Each botanist is going to be responsible for a single pot, and they're going to grow as much as they can with their pot. And we're going to compare at the end of a 24-hour period, or a 21-hour period actually, exactly how much bud each setup grows. Now, this is just step 1 in this experiment. We actually have a second step that we're going to be going into in the next video. This experiment is just to determine which individual setup has the potential to grow the most bud in a 21-hour period. And up here we have our beds. There's 5 more beds over there. In each of the beds, we already have 1 day's worth of wages. So everything is set up. Before we get started, however, we need to go motivate the troops. So let's go say hello to the botanists and let them know exactly what they're going to be doing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Syndicate. Now, as you know, here at the Syndicate, we value our hardworking employees. Each of you already has your day's pay, a generous $200, I might add, in your briefcase. And I'm only going to be charging you $180 for room and board, so you're going to be making a hefty profit. It is 4 a.m. We're going to be getting up bright and early at 7 a.m., so I'm graciously giving you 3 hours of sleep. And then in the morning, I expect each and every one of you to work as hard as you can, as fast as you can, to produce as much bud as you can. And I don't want to see any lollygagging, no breaks. Get your work done. Work all through the day until 4 a.m. tomorrow. And the one of you that produces the most bud, you're going to have a little bonus heading your way. So just a little something to keep you motivated. And anybody who I catch lollygagging, taking breaks, messing around, I'm looking at you, Walter. Well, I'm going to give you a little preview of what you can expect if you don't work your butt off, all right? There you go. So work, 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 work. That's the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. So let's hit the hay. We'll get up bright and early in the morning, and I want to see you guys doing your thing, all right? Let's get to it, guys. So now that the troops have been properly motivated, we're going to hit the hay. And bright and early in the morning, we're going to get started with part 1 of this experiment.
Tomorrow.
And it is 7 a.m. in the morning. Look at them all marching together, getting to work. Let's sit back and relax. I'm going to let them work constantly until 21 hours have passed till it's 4 a.m. and we will see just how much bud each of these botanists can produce.
A few moments later.
It is 4 a.m. and our botanists have finished their work for the day. So let's go ahead and head down to the floor here and we will see how much each of our botanists was able to produce. We're going to start with the regular halogen here. So here's the plastic pot and they produced 32. Not much at all. The LED produced 32. And the last one, the full spectrum, was able to produce 52. Nice. So they got a lot more done. All right, let's move over to the moisture retaining pots. And the halogen lamp, 32. The LED, 32. And full spectrum, 52. All right. So exactly the same as the plastic pot. Okay. Now let's check out the air pots. The halogen lamp, 32. The LED, 52. And the full spectrum, also 52. So I think we're going to have to run this experiment for another day or two to get some more definitive results. Because right now, everything is pretty close. Ladies and gentlemen, great work. However, our results were not definitive. So we're going to go ahead and extend this for a couple more days. Don't worry, you're still going to be receiving your $200 a day, minus the $180 for room and board. But you are still going to be getting your well-deserved pay. And you're also going to be generously allowed to sleep 3 hours every night. You'll get more than enough sleep. We're going to go ahead and extend this for at least 2 more days. Maybe we'll go 3. And we'll see exactly how much you guys can get done in the next couple days. And hopefully that'll give us a little bit more definitive data. All right? So let's go ahead. Let's hit the hay. I'll make sure and get you guys all paid up for the next couple of days. We'll hit the hay. We'll let this experiment run for a couple more days. And then we'll come back. So just to get you guys properly motivated. Great work today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want you to get a good night's sleep because we've got a lot more work to do. There we go. All right. Now you're properly motivated. Let's hit the hay and we'll get this going in the morning. All right? Sleep tight. 7 o'clock. We get to it.
Day 2.
And we have reached the end of day 2. It is 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. Let's hop on down and let's see exactly how our botanists have done. All right, we're going to start with the regular plastic pots here. The halogen has produced, oh wow, we're up to 92 buds with just the basic plastic pot and the halogen. The LED is also sitting at 92, and the full spectrum is sitting at 112. All right, so full spectrum basic plastic pot is the winner so far, 112. Let's move on to the moisture retaining pot, and the basic halogen is sitting at 92. The LED is also at 92, and the full spectrum is at 112, so the exact same as the regular plastic pots. So now we're going to move on to the air pots, and the halogen is sitting at 92. The LED is up to 112. And the air pot with the full spectrum light is also at 112. It looks like our air pot with the full spectrum does look like it's going to take the win here. We're going to let it go for another day. So let's go motivate the troops for the last day of the experiment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2 days down. You've all done an excellent job. Even you, Walter. I was a little worried about you, but you know what, bud? You've done well. So we're going to hit the hay, and we're going to do this all over again in the morning, one more day. So I want you in the morning, get up bright and early, work your butts off. Let's make sure we end this experiment strong. I don't want to see anybody slacking. So far, you guys have done a great job. I want to continue the hard work. Let's hit the hay. We'll pick it up again in the morning. All right? All right, let's get to it.
Day 3.
And we are reaching the midway point of day 3. And I wanted to double check and make sure we're not running out of storage space here. So we're going to hop on down and take a look. We're mainly going to look at the last racks here, just to make sure there's at least a little space left here. Yeah, see, this is almost full. So what we're going to do is I am going to add a few more storage racks next over here. We'll kind of line everything up, and we'll get these guys a little extra space. So hang tight. Let me show you what I got. All right, here we go. So I've added 3 more storage racks. I'm just going to move everything over. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So what I've done is I've just moved all of the product from the product storage racks here, and I've just created a new set of 3 for each one. So we've got these 3 here. I moved to here, and then these 3 here. I moved to here, and we're going to let them finish out the day. That way they don't run out of space. We're going to combine all the totals, and we will see which one is the winner. So hang tight. We will be back at 4 a.m.
A few moments later.
We have reached 4 a.m. on day 3. The experiment is complete. So let's hop down and let's see exactly what the final results are. We're going to start with the regular plastic pots here. So the plastic pot with the halogen light. Let's grab that here, and we will add this to the final total over here. So the final total for the plastic pot with the halogen light is 124 buds produced. All right, next up is the LED light. Final total for the LED light is 144 buds. And now the full spectrum light has 160, and then these 4 here, so 164 buds for the full spectrum light with the plastic pot. Now let's move on to the moisture preserving pots. All right, first one up is, all right, there's nothing in there with the regular halogen light. Final total is 124. With the LED light, grab that. The LED light, the total is 144. And for the full spectrum, we are sitting at 164 buds in 3 days. Last but not least, let's check out the air pots. So with the regular halogen light, let's grab these, and we will add this to the halogen light storage. We are sitting on 144. For the LED light, 164 for the LED light. And last but not least, the air pot with the full spectrum is going to be 184 plants. So we got 184 buds using the air pot and the full spectrum light. So that is the clear winner. Some very interesting results in our experiment tonight, folks. It appears that the full spectrum light and the air pot are both working as expected. If we take the basic plastic pot with the halogen light, which produced 124 buds, and we compare that to the air pot with the full spectrum light, which produced 184 buds, that does show us that both the full spectrum light and the air pot are working as advertised. We should expect a 45% increase in the amount of buds produced due to the effects of those 2 items, which would mean we should roughly expect about 180 buds with the full spectrum light and the air pot combined, as opposed to the basic plastic pot and halogen setup. We actually got 184, so not exactly 45%, actually a little bit more than 45%. All in all, a very, very interesting experiment with some very interesting results, but this does go to show that both the air pot and full spectrum light are working as advertised. Now, I did make the promise that the employee who grew the most buds would get a little reward. So let's go talk to the winner and give him what he deserves. So congratulations, Walter. You were able to produce the most amount of buds in the 3-day period. So you're going to get a little bonus. And your bonus is not getting smacked upside the head with a baseball bat. All of you other losers, however, you all suck. Walter is the man. So congratulations, Walter. You do not get knocked unconscious with the baseball bat like all of your colleagues here. They all suck. You grew the most. Good job, bud. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you found this video informative, and be sure to join us next time when we do yet another experiment on the most efficient and effective grow pot setup in Schedule 1. I'm going to leave you with another one of the Syndicate's core mottos. Always treat the peasants you have working for you with the dignity and respect that they deserve. But for now, this is Savin saying thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and keep on grinding.